Oh. Hey, what's up? What's up, everybody? This is Bumpin' with Unfiltered. Happy Father's Day, by the way. Today I am here with my family. Hello. That's my Uncle Warren, aka Lem, and this is Brandi, bouncing back with me. Hello.
Right.
Here's a question for the lady. You have a kid or kids with your ex, and it's Father's Day. So your kid reaches out to you or asks you, Mommy, I want to buy a gift for Daddy. What is your response? Do you think that is appropriate if you're not with the other parents, you're in a relationship now, that other parent is with someone else? What is your take on that?
So the thing is,
First of all, what?
in my opinion,
So why are you asking for the ladies and it's Father's Day?
You see,
see, that's why you don't get this. But
Yeah.
in my opinion, if your child is asking you to buy a gift for their father, that shows the type of child that you're raising. It has nothing to do with your relationship with the man anymore. It is the integrity of the child and how you raise them that they want to buy their father a gift because you have established some type of a foundation where they have, or the father has established a foundation where he has with his child, and they want to honor him. So if my child says, and this happened to me, where I was in a store and my son was like, it's Father's Day. Mom, can I get Dad a gift card? And I was like, yeah. Now, the amount of the gift card that he asked for, I was like, I don't, that's where my integrity and love came in. And I was like, I ain't with him no more. So, no, I'm not buying him a $200 gift card, but he can get a 25. He can get a 50.
I'm gonna chime in now. So this happened to me directly. First, so when I got my wife, or anybody I've been in a relationship, maniac, but I have to but every woman I was with, I have 3 children with 3 different women. Every woman I was with, I would say to them, I'm going to send my child's mother a gift for Mother's Day. So the people I was with was like, what? Why are you doing that? You're not with her. I said, it's not about me. It's acknowledging the job that they're doing as a parent. Fortunately enough for me, all those mothers were doing good jobs for the children, and they should be acknowledged for it. So now, with me, I'm piggybacking on what you said. My son told his mother, I want to get Dad a gift for Father's Day. He said to her, Dad likes Jordans. So he sent me a picture and was like, do you like these? Now I knew that was a lie. And I said, don't get me that. I said, don't, that's a little bit too much, son. Get something that's more modest. She did. But she was willing to facilitate his request for me,
Right.
even though it was Jordans.
Right.
I said, that's too much.
So in your previous story, right? You started to tell a story. You said that you initiated the gift incentive to the mothers.
Right.
But the question originally asked as a mother, if the child, so in that question, do you think that mothers should initiate it with their children? So if the child is too small, right? Say you guys break up and the child is like 2-3 years old and they can't ask those questions.
Right, right.
Do you think that she should be like starting that foundation, like, oh, let me bring the gift and stuff like that?
You know what, you should, but unfortunately, when people believe that person is doing a good job. So now there's a biased perspective.
Of course.
If you believe that father's doing a good job, then it will automatically come to your mind. Like I said about those mothers, but guess what? Not all of them felt that way about me. They had their emotions tied into it. And I think that's part of the question.
Right. So I wanted to piggyback on what you're saying is the maturity and being able to remove your feelings for that parent and just kind of do what's necessary. Because at the same time, teaching your child something. So for instance, you may feel like, you know what, that father is some trash or whatever the case. Like you had a bad relationship. So it ended really badly and saying the person, right? But at the end of the day, you still have children. The children don't go away. These children are still growing. So even you teaching your child to respect their father, right? That's maturity on your part. And that is teaching your child to be respectful, period. Because if that child doesn't respect their own father, how would you expect that child to respect anybody? You know what I mean? Talking about the other person, the other parent, by the way, it's always like a no-no for me. You know, you can't talk bad about that child's father to that child because you have to understand, while we broke up, oh, you ain't shit to me. But that's that child's father. That's the child's parent. So it's like, how do you feel somebody talk about your parent?
And my question is, what defines being a father, right? So in my experience as a child, not as a parent, I won't say that my father was good or bad, but the way that I'm parenting is totally different than how my parents raised me. But it didn't negate how I loved my father. So when Father's Day came around, I always wanted to do something for him. I never asked my mother for anything, right? But I always wanted to do something for him personally because I had a love for my father. Even in my relationships with my children, now as a parent, I never closed that door and I never talked bad about their fathers. So I let them experience who their father was, and I always had a candid, so they could candidly love their father or have a relationship. And I think that's where the giving comes from. It's not so much as, you know, as a mother, we feel like we're always there. So we show up, we're at schools, we're at hospitals, we're at this. But sometimes the father just taking his kid out or just calling is a lot for a kid and it's important to them. But we feel like, oh, he ain't doing shit. Or you could, yeah, you could do more. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm not buying him again.
That's the thing is about parenting, especially co-parenting,
Mm-hmm.
where it's different households.
Mm-hmm.
It's important for all of us to understand that it's not a competition.
Bam.
A child is not an award. It's not something that you're trying to win.
It's a village.
But
It's a village.
people, unfortunately, no matter what, male or female, the residue of the breakup
Yes.
lingers.
Yeah.
Now, that's a personal thing.
Yes.
It's not a gender thing. It can happen with a man, it can happen with a woman. Where it's like, I ain't getting nothing.
And
And
the
you're like,
child
I'm not giving him nothing.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the child suffers.
Absolutely.
It's important for parents to understand it's
But
not
then
an
pride
ego
is
thing.
out.
Yeah. It's not an ego thing. This is for the betterment of the child. And guess
Mhm.
what? We all want our children to be better, right?
Mhm.
Well, not all. The good parents, most want their children to be better. Some parents don't.
They don't. I know parents like that.
They won't admit that because they don't even know.
Yeah.
That's where you need counseling. That's internal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's in there.
Because that's the thing. At the end of the day, remember now, you brought these people into this world. So it's like you're putting all the ingredients into this person, right? So of course you want that person to be a good person because you
They're a reflection of you.
Right.
did
See,
that. So
that's what
you
that's
not
how
want
you
your
feel.
child to
I feel or she feels. There's other people out there that want their kids
They
to
leave their
fail.
kids in the
They want their kids to fail because they don't want them to be better than them.
They leave their kids in the wild.
Yeah.
It's like
Get raised by
no one was there for me, so I don't know how to do it. So it's an excuse.
I said this once, right? So I went through a situation earlier in life. And once we talking about emotional residue, right? There was emotional residue because of a relationship ending. So what better way to deal with me than to make it difficult for me to connect with this child? The residue of this relationship not working out. I said it then. I said, it's my first experience. I said, I just feel like later down the line, we're both going to feel the effects of this shaky foundation that's happening now. You want to break up the concrete on this foundation? I feel it's going to happen.
Oh, definitely.
So because of the residue of the feeling, because of the lack of unity, co-parenting, it always causes an effect long term with the child.
But wait, that's sort of like in the law of like physics. Because that is the foundation. So you're supposed to strengthen your foundation. So when you talk about having those feelings or ill feelings toward the other parent, that does have an effect on the child. The child feels that energy.
Sure.
You know what is like the best thing, the best selfless thing that we can do as parents is to at least try to establish some form of relationship with that other parent or that other person that's in the
Healthy
child's life. That child loves to see that.
Yeah.
They
Listen,
love to see that.
even
Let's
extension.
Thanksgiving together. Let's
Yes.
do Christmas together.
And the more people love your child, is the better. So when we as parents and we co-parenting and we find someone that's positive in our life and that other parent finds some positive in their life, now they have 4 parents, not
Yes.
2.
Yes.
Especially if it's a positive representation. Yeah.
We all know this is also contextual, right? Because at the same time, there are situations where you can't form these bonds, you can't
Yes.
form these relationships, no matter how much, depending, depending on if the person is toxic and you have to separate yourself,
Sure.
then it's like,
You're doing it for the betterment.
the child could be craving that absent parent. But if that absent parent is toxic into that child's life, you have to do what's best for the child.
Absolutely agree.
Yep.
With that being said, yeah. But you in a utopic situation,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Because sometimes the situation is positive,
Yeah.
but the residue from that relationship, that other person won't let those other relationships blossom.
Yeah.
Right? They're like, no, that's it. I'm not there. And what's the definition of a good parent? So I said something earlier about, yeah, I know I was doing a good job as a dad. I'm going to take that back. I've been putting my energy in the right places when it comes to my children.
I like
Well,
that.
you can't self-praise.
Right.
Nobody can say they're a good parent. You know how you know you're a good parent?
When your
It's
child
on your deathbed. On your deathbed. When somebody comes to you, it's your child, but I'm giving the most extreme situation. Yes, and you can't grade yourself. I mean, how you gonna check your own test? So, but I'm just saying, in the most extreme circumstance.
Right, but I'm gonna tell you.
When you are laying, when it's the end of our days, no, let's be honest, when it's the end of our days, and hopefully you die a peaceful death. But when you coming towards your end, and your children are next to you, saying, whispering in your ear, you did a great job. I love you. No, oh God, no, y'all talking that shit. I did it.
Wait, I want to tell you what I think about.
Y'all ain't shit. See, this is beyond unfiltered. They ain't shit.
That should have been my name.
Beyond
You
unfiltered.
don't gotta read that though.
No, I think you should though.
I'll tell you what.
Of course it comes
I'm
before
gonna
that.
tell you.
Yeah.
There's time
Yeah.
to get a good parent or your child appreciating you as a parent. Because remember, we're all adult children, right?
Yeah.
So we went through stages with our parents. So we got to see, like, maybe there were times where we were selfish or we didn't see them as they were. But now that we started to have life experiences, we started to value certain things and understand their struggles because we actually experienced them. So
It ain't done.
I want to go back a little bit because recently, I lost my job and my son is now, and he's a young adult, he's working and he's contributing in the home. And I felt bad because I was like, I'm the parent. No, I should be taking care of you. And he said, Mom, you always take care of me. This is the least that I could do. And child, I almost
Respect that.
died.
That's
Yeah, that's how you.
but you know what? Because yes, it is our job to take care of our children. Till
So
our
they
death,
become-
really. But till our death, really, because you never stop being a parent.
No.
Okay. Now, just the fact that he wants to contribute, right?
Excellent.
You allow him because that is teaching him.
He's allowing the
How
heck
to-
out of him.
I'm gonna have 50 back, by the way.
world, right? Because you know what? In the outside world, you don't live for free, right? So God forbid, shit happens to you. You got to pay bills, right? So that way, it won't be a shock to him. He'll be already in that mindset to where, you know what? I'm an adult. There's nobody responsible for me. I need to pay bills. You know what I mean? So that right there is even teaching him, and I love that. Like, it's even giving him a bill to pay.
That's the sign of a good parent.
And it teaches him so because he won't think like, oh, I'm just running the water. This is free.
Right.
When they see the bills, it change. Because I'm telling you, your kids, they in the grocery store. I want Captain Crunch. I want name brand cereal. When they got to buy that shit themselves, they want Malto meal and Capo Crunch. And
Now, see, you got
they want no name brand cereal.
your experience is different than my experience.
All of our experiences are different.
Yes, but I'm from a mother's perspective.
That is true.
So it is Father's Day, so we're gonna talk about it. I always joke about this with my kids all the time. Mother's Day, it's a spa day, it's a restaurant, it's a gift, it's all of this. And for Father's Day, all we get is a rock. Charlie Brown said that shit. Remember, all I got is a rock. The reason why I'm saying that is this: I think it's easier.
Because what if they had all
So yes, I know, but listen, hold on. So listen to what this is what I'm saying. If y'all want to hear me, y'all want to hear me?
Hold on, let me say this right. A trauma moment. Seriously. So I was a teenager, and my brother was working. My brother's old guy, he's working. And Father's Day comes around, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, I'm gonna get Dad this and get him that." And I'm like, "Okay." So I'm thinking, "Oh, we gonna get Dad?" No, I'm get Dad. So now I'm like, "Hey, well, I gotta get Dad something." So you know what I did? I go and I scrape up coins that I had, and in my mind, I'm like, "Oh, you know what? We need a cookie sheet." Because the cookie sheet that we had in the kitchen it was
Utility.
it was
She wanted a utility present.
so bad. This is so moment. So I'm listen, y'all. I don't have a job, right? I must have been like 12. I must have been like 12. So I go to Giant now and I buy a cookie sheet. And when I tell you, I stood there so proudly and I counted out all those coins. And I was like, oh my gosh, Dad is going to love this. And so Father's Day comes around, he opens the gate. He's like, oh my gosh, oh, thank you, thank you. And then he looks, and I was like, Dad, he's my present. He's like, a cookie sheet. He was like, oh, what am I supposed to take this to work and be like, oh, look, I have a cookie sheet?
Father ain't true. It came from my father.
No,
They are terrible
hurt
shots.
my feelings. Hurt my feelings. So you know what my mom got next year? Nothing. You can listen. Then that's when you learn to appreciate life, right? One cookie sheet is better than no cookie sheet. Hey, Dad, I love you.
But those died.
I love you, Dad.
So now listen. The thing is, we didn't have a blueprint. My father, my grandfather died when my father was 11 years old. And even when he was around, from what I understand, he wasn't a blueprint on how to be a father. So here it is. My father fathered his brothers. And then when he had his own children, he reverted to immaturity. He didn't know how, nobody told him how to be a father. So you think the father going to understand how to be a father? No. We have to learn this shit on the fly. You and me, because now, even though I'm in the hierarchy of our family, I'm older than you guys. You guys are my nieces, but not that far in age. I had to acknowledge that shit to myself when I was put in a place to be a father. So I had to learn it on the whim. So I took pieces from good fathers that were around that had the experience. So I took from everybody and I tried to do as best as I could. And the best as I could was like, I know what it felt not to be supported. So I supported my kids. I know what it meant to have real conversations, the conversations that they weren't man enough to have with me because they weren't equipped. So those conversations I had even with you guys, the conversations we have and the depth of our conversations leads back to leadership. So I said, yo, I got to learn how to be a leader. And I didn't blame them anymore. Like our kids, they blame us for their inadequacies.
And then on
And
that
that's
note,
why I be like, fuck the kids. You can me say that.
so my brother and I try to have a
You know what I'm
conversation
saying?
with my dad, right? And you know, what the response was, we're like, Dad, he hit me with the, well, my dad was hitting me, so you'll be all right.
He doesn't know how to take
Yeah,
accountability.
yeah, and it's not his fault, like I'm saying, because it's not just us. This chain was broken generations.
Oh, that's yeah.
Slavery. Let's talk about slavery. Let's talk about what happened to black people during all of these times. So when they say, when we look at the world, right, and they expect us to just, hey guys, forget what's going on, forget the past. We can't forget the past because it's a rippling effect. We're still being affected by fathers and men that not feeling secure enough to even deal with their
But the
emotions.
reason why
Understanding that I'm taking accountability emotionally, I'm being a support system. There's so many things that was ruptured during that disconnection between home and children. However, I'm gonna say this. I don't have any friends personally, and I have a large network of friends. I have no black brothers that I know don't show up for their kids. From the from the hood dude to the corporate guy. Back in the days, you just leave kids.
The reason why we're insecure today, the reason why the old generation doesn't take accountability, the reason why it's not that we don't have time, it's the fact that we're aware
Right.
and we understand.
Yes.
We're in a culture right now
Yep.
that we are looking to heal ourselves.
Yes.
Our parents, they nobody understood that they were depressed. Nobody understood, okay, I'm abused and I need to get help.
And
They just
mental health.
be
And
abused.
mental health.
We acknowledge that, okay, you know, you might not just be tired. Something else might be going on with you.
Right.
And it's okay to seek help. It's okay to seek someone to talk about it. Before it was like, oh, you know,
Especially in the Caribbean.
you know,
In the Caribbean community, in the black
Beyonce
community in
land.
general, like, especially black men, right? Black men didn't think that they could or weren't willing to get help.
vulnerable and
Yeah,
vulnerable.
and get mental health.
Yeah.
And mental health is like, you're crazy. Because the terminology,
Beyonce land.
You don't
the terminology, they didn't think that. I saw a counselor once, not for myself. One of my kids. No, I seek counseling for myself, but one of my kids, when they were young, they were having some difficulties, and we had to go to a social worker and a counselor. And she gave me the greatest definition on how we should take care of our minds along with our body. She said, Mr. McIntyre, and I'm not one for drugs. I'm a vegetarian. I'm a holistic guy. But she said, and she hammered it home. She said, listen, your child is suffering, has a deficiency, right? He or she could excel like this. However, if you have a heart problem and this medication for your heart is going to help your heart regulate your heartbeat, you're going to take it.
Right.
Your mind is an organ too.
Yes.
So I'm not going to tell you to just drug your kid, but I'm going to tell you, if you do, the chances of them fulfilling their potential
Higher.
is higher.
Higher. Yes. And just on that note, and that is why mental health issues get so
On the
overlooked
side, yeah.
because it's not something that you can actually see.
Like your arm ain't hurt. Your arm hurts. Get something to fix
So
it on.
let's say someone with a broken arm, right? And you're
Put it in
like,
a sling.
okay, I need you to pick up those books. Right? I need you to pick up the 5 like in a stack. Obviously, you're looking at that person like, okay, you know what? I understand that you can't do that, right? Because you have one arm.
Right.
But imagine someone with not having the mental capacity to do that,
balance.
and you can't understand it. So a lot of times you get, oh, the person is lazy, or they're stupid, or they're slow, or something like that, and not understanding that there's something else going on.
There's an organ up there. There's
right?
an organ up
And
there.
sometimes, and here's the thing, and sometimes that itself needs regular maintenance.
Yes.
And I compare it to a vehicle.
Yeah.
So you take your vehicle to get an oil
Oil
change, you put gas, and you expect it to run, right? So then, what about the mind, the brain? If you're not feeding it, or you're ignoring that you have a mental health issue, how do you expect to even proceed like
engine
on a normal, right? To keep that engine running. You know what I mean? That's almost insane. Like,
So that's the thing. All of these things. So we're talking about all these different things, right? So now we get into the essence.
we got the best cameraman.
We get into the essence of things.
Mhm.
'Cause the conversation started off with a gift. And now we're talking about what leads to those things.
Mhm.
What leads to somebody saying, why you get the gift? What leads to it is mental health.
Right.
Because if you have an even keeled thought process and your brain, your organ up here is functioning properly, you're going to take yourself out of those equations and deal with what it is, the child's best interest.
Yep.
It's the mental health aspect of things we're really talking about. It starts with mental health.
Yep.
Straight up. And accountability is mental health. Accountability is mental health. Judgment is mental health. Maturity is mental health. Prosperity is mental health. All of those things go back to the essence, which is mental health. When somebody allows residue from a past relationship to linger to the point where there's disdain for another person, mental health.
I like
When
the
you-
way you just brought that back. And like you said, residue, right?
Yeah.
Come from the ancestors too, right? You
Yeah.
said come
It's
back from
DNA.
slavery, right? And it's kind of like, but it's all you know.
Yes.
Pass it down and keep
Mental
passing it down.
health.
And this is where we break that cycle. The cycle
Yes.
stops here.
So that's why, you know why? Because we're dealing with our mental health. And we're making sure that we stay healthy up here and stay healthy here with
Yeah.
love and energy.
That's my uncle.
And
y'all.
that's
our
and that's
uncle.
how we supposed to do.
Wrapping up.
Wrapping
We
it up.
wrapping it up. But you know what? I'm so glad to have joined. And I really appreciate y'all. I love
Love you.
Love you too.
I love
And
you.
listen,
Shout out
first
to our
feature.
cameraman. Let me tell you, cameraman Josh. No, he is the bomb. I'm trying to tell you.
And he said,
And he take us.
All right, y'all. Just remember, if you like this, if you see, like, subscribe, follow, do whatever you need to do. Check in, UnFeeltered.